when a member is subjected to both your sigma and tau. Right? We have been solving problems where the members were subjected to either sigma or tau. So what if this is combined? A member, for example, since we are dealing with shaft here, let us consider a shaft which is subjected to a load. Let us consider a shaft which is subjected to a torque. So it is experiencing a power of 50 kilowatts. So it is experiencing a torque. Along with this, what if there is a load that is acting on the shaft? Now this will create a sigma b bending moment. So along with transferring the power, the shaft is also experiencing a bending stress. So this is where a combined stress comes into play. So the material is experiencing a combined stresses. Now to solve this, we will be going ahead with the help of a principal stress equation. Now for maximum stress, the formula, right, we'll have sigma max and sigma minimum, but we'll only use the maximum stress. As we have discussed, if the material is safe in the maximum stress, it will be safe even for the minimum stress, which will be slightly lesser than the maximum. So sigma max is given by the formula half into the sigma, that is the combined sigma that is acting. So let me write it as sigma max plus root of sigma square plus 4 tau square. This is the formula for maximum tensile stress or the nominal stress. And also the material experience a shear stress which is given by tau max is equal to half into root of sigma square plus 4 tau square, where sigma is the nominal stress and tau is your shear stress. So this they combine together to form the maximum tensile or the nominal stress and the maximum shear stress. So when we design shaft which is experiencing a combination of stresses, that is a combination of loading, we have to use either this or this equation depending upon we are designing based on what. For example, if sigma value is given, the material's allowable nominal stress is given, we'll use this equation. If the material's allowable shear stress is given, we'll use this equation. If both the values are given, we'll design the shaft for both the condition and we'll take the largest diameter, because for example, if I get the requirement for the shaft diameter is 10 mm here, and if the shaft diameter requirement is 12 mm here, I'll use a 12 mm shaft because 12 mm is obviously greater than 10. So this will be safe for this condition and also for this condition. So this is the objective. So we'll just derive how to bring the simplified equation so that you can effectively use that formula during the design of shaft. So let us take condition 1 for sigma max. Sigma max. So the maximum condition that we have taken is sigma max is equal to half into sigma plus root of sigma square plus 4 tau square. Now we have already derived the formula for tau and sigma separately. So the formula for sigma is equal to m by z, which is simplified as 32 m by pi d cube. So this is the formula for sigma, because since it is a shaft of circular cross section, we have used the z formula for circular cross section, pi by 32 d cube. So the 32 is taken to the numerator. The same way, tau we have also derived 16 t by pi d cube. So these are the two formula for sigma and tau for a circular shaft. So we'll try to substitute this in the equation. So substituting sigma max is equal to half into by sigma is 32 m by pi d cube plus root of 32 m by pi d cube the whole cube plus 4 into 16 t by pi d cube the whole square. Sorry, this is whole square. So this is the equation for sigma max, which is equal to half into 32 m by pi d cube plus, now I could take this value commonly out. For example, this is 32 by pi d cube, this is 16 by pi d cube, this is 4. So if I write 4 as 2 square and then this 16 as 16t by pi d cube the whole square. Now since the powers are equal, I can take this 2 inside. You should be careful, you should not take 4 as 4 inside, because since it is square, you have to make this as 2 square and multiply. So this will be then 2 into 16. This is 32t by pi d cube the whole square. The simple mathematical formula which you would have learnt in your 8 or 9 standard. So this will be root of 32 by pi d cube the whole square into m square. I have just taken this, separated these two, plus this will be 32 by pi d cube the whole square into t square. This is my equation now. Going ahead, I will be simplifying this as sigma max is equal to half into 32m by pi d cube plus this will be again this 32 by pi d cube the whole square is common, so that can be taken out as 32m by pi d 32 by pi d cube the whole square into m square plus t square, which is equal to, now this is again common and this can be taken out. Root of a into b can be written as root a into root b, but if it is root of a plus b, it is not equal to root a plus root b. So this could be utilized. So using this relation, I'm going to write it as half into 32m by pi d cube plus, when I take it separately as root a into root b, this square and the square root can be cancelled. So this will be 32 by pi d cube into root of m square plus t square. So the next step, I can take this 32 by pi d cube commonly out. So I will write it as 32 by pi d cube into half into m plus root of m square plus t square. So 32 by pi d cube, I didn't cut this because I am keeping it as inside. So half into m plus root of m square plus t square. Now if you compare the formula for sigma when it is only experiencing the nominal stresses, the formula was 32m by pi d cube. So simplifying this is somewhat similar to that equation, we will get it as 32m by pi d cube, 32 by pi d cube into m eq, that is m equivalent. So this whole value is taken as m equivalent bending moment, where m equivalent is equal to half into m plus root of m square plus t square. Now if you go back to the condition, instead of having a complicated equation and deriving this, we have simplified the equation here. This is my maximum bending stress. So this m is my bending moment and my t is the torque, which I could directly find using the given condition. So rather than finding the shear stress and the bending stress acting and then simplifying and putting it in the principal stress equation, we could directly just find the bending moment that is acting on the material and the torque that the material is experiencing. Bringing that together, we could find the equivalent bending moment, and with the help of this equivalent bending moment, we could equate it to sigma max. So most of the problem, as already stated, we will be designing the shaft. That will be, we will be finding the diameter of the shaft. So we can write it as 32m equivalent divided by pi sigma the whole power 1 by 3, where this sigma is the allowable stress. So using this equation, we can design shaft which is experiencing both combined stresses, that is both sigma and tau. So this is your allowable stress. So the same way, we will go ahead and derive the condition for next case, that is your equivalent shear stress. Now the formula for tau max, that is the maximum shear stress that will act on a member when it is experiencing a combined stress, is half into root of sigma square plus 4 tau square. Now using the same approach, where we'll have the value of tau max is equal to half into root of my sigma is 32 by pi d cube the whole square into m square. I have separated it because we have just seen it how to do it, plus this will be 32 by pi d cube the whole square into t square. Now this 32, taking this 32 out, this will be 32 by pi d cube into 1 by 2 into root of m square plus t square. So this is your formula for tau max. Now, but if you compare with the tau equation that we have used, tau is equal to 16t by pi d cube instead of 32. So here I will cancel this, so that I will get it as 16 by pi d cube into torque equivalent, where my equivalent torque is equal to root of m square plus t square. Now, if you compare it with your equivalent bending moment, we had half into m plus root of m square plus t square. So, this is where you have to be careful. You should remember the formula correctly. So, using this formula, we will be able to find the maximum shear stress that act on the member and the maximum bending stress that act on the member when the shaft member is experiencing a combination of stresses. Again, using the same approach, we could find d, that is the diameter, is equal to 16t equivalent divided by pi tau per tau max the whole power 1 by 3. So this will help us in finding the diameter of the shaft, that is designing the shaft for the principal stress condition. So with the help of these two equations, design of shafts will be done for the various type of loading. Maybe there will be a pulley will be there where the load is transferred and the power is transferred. Maybe there will be a gear mechanism in between the driving and the driven shaft. Based on that, we will be solving few problems in the upcoming lectures. Thank you.